Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here, this time reviewing on issue 5 of Young Justice Targets. Now, as you know, Young Justice Targets, I would say, is Greg Weisman's idea for a season 5, and keep in mind that since Young Justice ended after its 4th season, I think Warner Bros. Made the right choice. I think it was just kind of clear that Greg Weisman still wanted to continue the series, without really giving it a proper ending. And I think the thing is, I can see why Warner Bros. Discovery is trying to salvage itself, and sometimes working in a company, you've got to make a few sacrifices, or kind of try to do what you think is right. So the cover mainly has Superboy being strangled by Metallo, and let's get on the story. It starts off with Queen Perdita inside a dark room, wondering where she is, and we kind of see how how basically Static, also Blue Beetle, Wingfall, Terra now are dealing with the sort of robots and that, and we kind of see how inside the factory, Beast Boy gets punched out by Mammoth, Stargirl gets her staff burnt to a crisp by Glimmer, and we kind of see how Metallo is being strangled by Metallo, and him saying, "I can't tell you how satisfying this feels. I have to admit, I thought the boss's plan was needlessly complicated," and pretty much pointing out how easy it was to kind of get the kryptonite. And of course, we kind of see how Leanne is trying to see how Oliver and Diane are. And we kind of see how John Corbin gives his backstory, how he was discovered that he was a metahuman with self-healing abilities, and we kind of see how Lex tries to be the sort of father John Corbin never had, and was able to kind of get his sisters into a good school, also his mum a job. And this is where we see how Lex tries to manipulate Corbin into making him feel like Superboy and Superman rejected match, without learning what really happened. And of course, we even see him saying, "You ungrateful jerk, I wish I had a father like Lex Luthor. But no, not you, no." And I think what I think Greg Weisman was meant to go for was showing what Superboy would have become had he been loyal to Lex Luthor, as I think John Corbin is meant to be a warning to what Superboy might have become. And of course, after kind of exposing Lex Luthor for his crimes, we kind of see how Lex Luthor gives him the operation to become Metallo. And of course, we see how Miss Martian gets into the building, tries to find out where Queen Perdita is, and turns out Sison is sort of keeping her in a sort of catatonic state, and tells the team where they are. And of course, this is where we see Tigress, Arrowette, Arsenal, Halo, Red Arrow, and Miss Martian getting ready. And this is where you can tell Red Arrow does feel a little responsible. And this is where we see how Sison points out about the alarm being set, and that if they try to enter Perdita's mind, it will self-destruct. But we kind of see how Miss Martian points out that she'll need to kind of sort of unlock the minds and everything and have to deal with Sison. But of course, we kind of see how they try to blast through the door, and of course have to now deal with Count Vertigo, who says, "Indeed, feast on them, children, but do not state yourselves. My power is merely an appetizer." Too true. And of course, this is where we see Queen Bee, and in the process hypnotizes Red Arrow, Arsenal, and Halo. And keep in mind that Halo is into women now, and they are pretty much part of the LGBT community. And this is where we kind of see how basically Queen Bee gets them to kind of kill their friends. We kind of see how Arsenal blasts Arrowette. We kind of see how Will Harper kind of shoots down Tigress, and we kind of see how Halo blasts their friends, And this is where Queen Bee says, now that is love. And keep in mind that it's possible this is, in the next issue, it's going to be revealed to be a trick. And keep in mind the team would be pretty covered in case of any situation. And we kind of see how Leanne points out about what happened many years ago from the story she was told. And we see how Dana kind of finds out where Oliver is. And we see how during the fight, Merlin and Oliver duke it out with one arrow each. And after shooting the arrow, manages to make his winning shot. And they manage to knock him down. And of course, much like the sort of Green Arrow shot, we see how Count Virgo tries to deal with the situation himself, only for Black Canary to help out. And we kind of see how Oliver proposes to Dana, and yeah, this kind of ends the story. So I think, in my opinion, issue 5 isn't too bad. I think the point of John Corbin, like I said, is meant to be a warning to what Superboy would have become if he was still loyal to Lex Luthor. And I think, yeah, the differences between them is when Superboy realised what the sort of S-Patches were doing to him, he left and kind of bonded with Superman after finding common ground. I think John Corbin is supposed to believe that he's the good guy and that Lex Luthor was the father he should have had, without really realising that he might be using him. So I think the story definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.